how do you see competition in this space? Because, you know, while you've got investment in and you're launching products and you've got a good team, but there are significant competitors like Kinetic, like Ola, even the incumbent players, legacy fuel players like Bajaj Auto. Uh, how do you see yourself locking horns with them?
Well, it's a competitive marketplace. There is the companies you mentioned and more coming in all the time. We have a slight early mover advantage, and hopefully we will do what it takes to maintain that advantage. I don't think any legacy player has any particular advantage in this field, and as I said, it is a completely different product altogether. It needs a different outlook. So, you know, an early mover advantage definitely will benefit us in the long term. We're learning all the time.
Any market share targets that you have? Because I believe that Ampere, the company that you bought and through which you're launching many products, has about a 12-13% share in the market. Would you be confident of maintaining that? Would you be content with having that kind of a share eventually as this market unfolds and expands?
Yes, we have targeted a 15% market share, and we're close. We're about 13%, as you said, 12-13% now, and we are confident that we can maintain that share.
What about other product variants like e-3-wheelers or e-rickshaws? What kind of ambitions do you have there, and how big is that market? I mean, how big as part of your e-mobility business could those products be?
Well, the three-wheeler market is already quite large. It is being addressed through, on the electric side, it is being addressed through two completely different vehicles. One is what we call loosely the electric rickshaw, which is L3, and then there is the electric auto, which is L5. One is, of course, for smaller payloads. Those vehicles are unregulated, and we do have a small presence in that market yet, currently, through a company called Bestway. And on the auto side, the L5 side, we have our presence through another company called MLR Auto. And that market will grow. It has different challenges for moving both passengers and cargo, and we are in the process of addressing those challenges. I expect good momentum in the current year.
The other interesting thing, as I was alluding to earlier, Karan, is this move towards being a consumer-facing company. I mean, that's not something every auto component manufacturer manages to achieve. But you seem to be very intent and keen on expanding your retail store presence. I mean, what are the plans on that retail front?
Well, you know, any automobile company needs an aftermarket, both in terms of sales of spares and service. And we recognize that from the outset. And our Greaves Automart, our Greaves retail effort is all geared towards that. And in fact, the EV Automart that we have is not only selling Greaves electric mobilities products, I mean Ampere and the rest. It sells other people's products as well. The whole idea is to get the EV culture around the country.
Where does all this leave your old business, the legacy business that you have, those diesel engines that you would sell to the likes of Piaggio, or your gen sets, the pump sets, the tillers? Are you defocusing on that business, or it just continues to move as it was?
So the Greaves Cotton continues to sell its diesel engines and CNG engines. and petrol engines for different applications, both auto and non-auto. Of course, the business is much smaller than it was earlier, but it's still there, and it's started coming back post-COVID. Now that shared mobility is back again in full swing, but it's definitely smaller than before. We continue to invest to make sure that we are in compliance with all the environment emission norms, and our customers still rely on us to provide the powertrain.
So 5 years out, will Greaves Cotton look very different, Karan, to what it is now, where your new investments and your new businesses will become much larger even in terms of a revenue share, and maybe the business that was your bread and butter 10 years ago would become even smaller?
Well, there is definitely a much higher growth momentum currently in the electric mobility side of the business. There's no doubt about that. But Greaves Cotton, the legacy business, is itself investing in the electric powertrain and making components there. So that business will grow as well. So yes, the B2B legacy side of the business will be much smaller for the Greaves Group as a whole, but it will be a very significant business nonetheless.
Well, good luck with your aspirations, Karan. It was great talking to you today, and thank you very much for your time.